Hey, what's up, guys? I am getting ready to do a site evaluation on potential earnings for a location that I'm looking at putting a hotspot. So I figured while I go through this process, I might as well share it and give you guys a little insight into what I'm doing. Remember, I'm new to this. I've only been doing this for a few months, but I am not new to evaluation, data manipulation, and kind of looking at things and figuring out courses of action. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm using processes that I've used in other fields and applying that to determining how much I could potentially make with a hotspot. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to Sitebot. Okay. Sitebot.com. It's a great site if you want to look at statistics for specific areas. Okay. So I can look at right now, this is all of the hotspots in the world. I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to look at hotspots specifically in one city. Okay. So this has a good base of information. We're going to filter it by the city I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to do Baltimore. For some reason, there we go. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so now we have all of the hotspots in Baltimore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export it. I've already done the export, so I'm not going to actually click here. But if you click on the export button, it's going to ask you where to save the CSV file. Save it to CSV, open up in Excel or whatever else. I've got it here in Excel. Personally, I like working in Google Sheets better. I think it's easier. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to select the whole spreadsheet, copy it, and then go over to a spreadsheet that I have waiting in Google Spreadsheets and copy it over there. Then I'll work in here and it's a little easier for me. I just like this better. Also, everything that I do is in Google Sheets or Google Docs. So it's easier for me to just save stuff and move stuff around when I'm ready to do it. Boom. All right. So there is all the information. What we're going to do first off is highlight this so we know where the headers are. And we'll just kind of talk about what is in the spreadsheet when it exports. Okay. The address of the hotspot. I don't care about that for what I'm doing. I can use the name of the hotspot. So we're going to delete that column. The name of the hotspot, the account ID. Again, I don't care what that is for this. I'm just looking to see what information about the hotspot that I can look at to determine what I may make in that same area. Okay. Is it online or offline? We're going to keep that because I want to filter and remove any ones that are offline. I don't care about sync status. I already know where it is, so I don't need country, state, or city. I don't care about the date added. We can get rid of those columns. Okay. Antenna gain I want, reward scaling I want, installation height I want. Rewards today, yesterday, 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days, 7 days prior, don't care. I'm going to go off of the last 30 days. Okay. And then I'm going to get rid of all the rest of these. Okay. That's what I'm working with. This is the basic data that we want to have. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a filter. I'm going to get rid of, okay, anything that is offline. Okay. So we've got these guys. These are all the offline ones. Just go through and delete them. Okay. Delete. Go back up. I can turn this off now. Don't need a filter. All right. So they're all gone. Then fill in these spaces, right? We're gonna filter, or sorry, we're gonna sort Z to A and get all of the highest earning hotspots at the top. The other thing I want to do, see how this says E plus 08? We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want scientific. We want plain. I gotta do this twice, I think. Automatic. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. So we want just the basic numbers. And then what I'm going to do here is remove some of these decimals. Nope, don't want that. Okay. So the way this is working, When it came over from Excel, it didn't get all the specific numbers. It just turned it all into zeros. That's fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go HNT earnings 30 days, right? And then basically this is equal sum. If you know a little Excel, we're gonna do F2 times point. It should be eight decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the last one is a 1. It should be 9.5. Boom, there we go. All right, and then we're going to get rid of this again. I don't know why it keeps wanting to do scientific. Okay, so 9.54 is the number we're looking for. That's how much HNT Pet Fern Wolf earned in the last 30 days. All right, then we just take this and copy it all the way down. All the way down to the 390 hotspots that are active in Baltimore. Okay, and you can see the lowest earning hotspot in Baltimore is 0.004 HNT, and the highest is 9.5. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to know, just because I want to know, right? That's the range, right? There's almost 400 hotspots in Baltimore. What's the average? Okay. That's an easy one. I'll just put that up here. Okay. And that's going to be equals average, right? And that's going to be all these numbers again. You know what? And I can just go from DG2, comma G390. Okay. So the average, we'll round that down a little bit. 2.57 is the average HNT earning for the Baltimore area, Baltimore City. Okay. Now, that's great. That's some basic information. What I want to know is what could I potentially earn. So I need to look at some of the things that affect that are going to be similar to the area that I'm putting things in, right? So what antenna am I going to use? Which one should I use? Which one is there an antenna that works better to earn more or less in this city? Is there a height that works better or less in the city? Is there a reward scale that works better or less in the city? So those are the three main things we're going to look at. Okay, these three things I've got, right? Installation height, reward scaling, and antenna gain. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert a chart. Insert a chart. I've got no data. What data am I going to use? Well, let's see. We're going to not do a column chart. I like to use scatter charts. Okay, scatter chart. We're going to say the x-axis. We're going to do the whole range, right? So we're using the whole sheet. So when it says select the data range, just select the whole sheet, go to suggested. That is everything in the sheet. Click OK. It's going to give you a bunch of stuff. Okay. And see if I can scroll here. Let's see if I can move my screen over here to this side so we can see now. Okay. Add series. Nope. Sorry. I'm not doing that. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Hold on. It's not doing what I want it to do. Hold on one second, guys. This is not working the right way. For some reason, I'm not getting the headers in here like I want them to. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Add another range. Let's cancel that. Hmm. Try this again. I don't know what happened. You know, you run through things and you test them out, see if they work, and then when you actually do it for the video, it doesn't work. Gotta love it. Oh, look at that. It's got data in it already. Okay. Setup. I don't want a column chart. I want a scatter chart. I don't want that. You know what I need to do? Remove, add, okay. Close that, click here, delete that, select the whole thing. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we want, for some reason it's showing the column, instead of showing the column headers, it's showing the column cell ranges. So we'll just have to make that work. So we want to look at antenna gain. So that is C. So we're looking at C, okay, as one axis. It went back to column chart. I don't want a column chart. I want a scatter chart. Okay. And then we want to get rid of all these, right? Remove all, remove all. And we're going to go back to here. And then we want HNT earnings 30 days. We want G. Boom. Okay. Now, just to make sure we got that right. Oh, and we want to do this. And again, we were doing reward scaling. D. Sorry. Antenna gain, C. There we go. Okay. And that's what we're looking for. Use column C as labels. Okay. So what we've got here now is we've got a scatter chart that shows going up and down. Okay. HNT rewards, right? And we can actually customize this. Watch this. Charts out. This is HNT to I'll just say gain. Make it easy. HNT to gain. All right. And then the horizontal is going to be, sorry, that's gain. And then the vertical is going to be HNT. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. What is the gain of the antenna to how much it earned? Okay, so if you look at this, you'll see that, let's see, 6 HNT. Let's say that that's we want to be around 6 HNT plus, right? So current prices, that's about $120 a month. Okay, then I want to look at, is there a range? Does the gain of the antenna make a difference? And this looks like it's pretty spread out. Okay, anything over 6, we've got a few that are under 2, we've got 3 that are under 2, we've got 1, 2, 3 that are under 4, we've got 4 that are under 4, we've got 6 that are 6 or under, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are 8 or under. So it looks like between 5.8, because that's what this row is going to be, 5.8, between 5.8 and 8 dBi is where the biggest percentage of antennas are that are making over $120 a month. Okay, so that gives me one thing to keep in mind. I want to be in the 5.8 to 8 range. Okay, now remember considerations about that. I may be going super high. Like there's potential I could be 30 meters up. So I probably am going to lean towards the 5.8 because I don't want to skip over anybody with a less of a degree beam width. Okay, so 5.8 is probably where I'm going to be. So that's good to know that a good percentage is going to be 5.8 or higher. I'm right in that middle range, the average, I guess you could say an average, right? If you look at all of these guys from top to bottom, I could dig into this more and identify which ones these all were, right? And then go into the actual average and coming up with, okay, what percentage is that 5.8? I'm not going to worry about that. I can eyeball this and say that 5.8 is probably a good place to be. Okay, so that's one. Let's look at another one. Let's make another one. Okay, let's go to insert chart again. This time, actually, you know what? I wonder. I hadn't thought about this before. Let's delete this. Yeah, I can copy this, right? We're going to copy this chart and then paste it. Boom, right? We're going to make another one. That way I don't have to do that whole thing again. I can just go here and we can change. We can just change this from gain. We're going to change this to scale. Okay. So then we go here and then scale was D, right? So D range. Instead of gain, we're looking at, remove that, we're looking at the D range, D1. There we go. Why did that go there? That's not what I'm looking for. We want it here. D, there we go. Okay, so now we're looking at the same thing, but instead of looking at the gain of the antenna to how much HNT was earned, we're looking at the scale of the transmit of the hex to HNT. Okay, and we're looking at again over 6. It looks like most of them, there's a big cluster here that's between 0.6 and 0.8. So that's 0.7 is that range, 0.7 to 0.72 is that range where most of the hotspots are making the most money, right? If you look at in general, actually, of all of them, the biggest cluster of all of them are in that 7.2, 7 to 7.2 range. Okay, so that's where I want to try to see. I'm not going to go into that now, but I'll go and look at the site that I'm looking at putting this and see if it's in that 7.2 range. I think it is. I think it's actually a new hex. There's nothing in that hex from a Res 8 perspective. So we should be good there. So that's pretty good. All right, let's do another one. Let's look at installation height. Okay, so same thing. Instead of gain, we're going to look at height. Okay, and then we take gain out, and height is E, right? Range of E. Remove. Going here. We're going for E. Use E as a label. Whoa. Why is it doing that? That is not correct. That is definitely not correct. Right? All right, so why did that happen? H&T. I never did change the title for these. That's okay. Remove E. Installation height. Yep. Because the scale. Okay, so the scale is off here. So what we need to do is we need to go to customize. And I believe major grid lines. Nope. We're doing 10. Nope. One of these is going to change the scale so that it isn't so. Just got to find it. Sorry, guys. The height is. Oh, you know what? Actually, we can change this. Hold on. Nope, that didn't change it. I don't know why it's doing, because of that. There we go. Let's change this guy. What's the guy messing things up? So I doubt he's 4,950 meters. Um, just for the sake of making this easier to fix, I'm just going to remove this entry. One entry right in the middle is not going to be a problem, because I'm not sure how that got in there. Let's remove that, and let's see if there's any other thousands in here by any chance. I doubt there's an antenna 5,000 meters in the air. There we go. See, sometimes you got to do some data, playing around with the data. All right, that's what we're looking for. Okay, that's better. All right, so height-wise, we're looking at the majority. The majority of these locations are, let's see, this is 50. So 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, so 5 to 10 meters. Okay. If you'll notice that everything over 6 HNT, it's pretty split between 6 HNT and 8 HNT are all in that 0 to 30 meter space. That's what the bulk is. Okay. There's a couple people that are super high, but if you notice, this guy here is over 130, right? Over 130 feet. Isn't making any more money than this guy who's at, 130. Yeah, this is in feet. Sorry, 130 feet. Isn't making any more money than this guy who's at just over 10 feet or 10 meters. Sorry. Actually, is this feet or meters? That's a good question. Height. Let's see. Let's click on one. See what we got. See what we got here. Where is the information here? Antenna gain, scaling. It is in meters. Okay, so that's meters. That's tall. This is in meters, and this guy's 100 plus meters up. That's crazy. 300 feet plus, 400 feet tall, 400 feet. To me, that seems like that guy's probably in a high rise in somewhere in the city. But it's not helping him any. Right? I mean, he's doing well compared, right? Doing well above average for the network. But this guy over here is less than 10 meters, and he's making almost 10 HNT a month. So, wonder what would make that one better. Interesting. All right. Well, so I'm looking at being about 35 meters. So I'm going to be in this range, 10, 20, 30. I'm going to be right around here in the location I'm looking at. So that's not too bad. That should be pretty good. Um, so far, right, we've looked at three things. We looked at height. There's a good height range. Okay, height range matches. I can do 6 to 8 HNT in that height range. Um, Antenna gain, or sorry, nope, we got to change this, right? This isn't antenna gain anymore. This one is word or transmit scale, right? I'll look and double check, but I'm pretty sure that the hex I'm going into is empty from a res 8, and I'll be doing, because it's in a low res 4, that's going to pop it down. So even though the res 8 I'm going into is empty and should be a 1.0, because the res 4 is overloaded, that's going to take something out of it, and I'll be probably like a 7.1, 7.2, which is okay here. And then my gain, again, over 6, somewhere between 5.8 and 8 is where I want to be. Because I'm going higher than normal, I'm probably going to be in that 5.8 range. Okay. So based on these numbers, okay, based on this information, there's a lot of stuff in here, right? There's a lot of other hotspots that have similar configurations that aren't doing well. But I'm looking at particularly, okay, um, where I'm going and how it compares. Does it match? Are there similarities to the people that are doing well? Yes, there are. There's other things I'll be taking a look at that I'll do some videos on later, but this is step one. Just kind of see, does my proposed configuration match a profile that could work for making above average HNT? Hope that was helpful. If you guys have any thoughts or other information, maybe I can throw some other data into this existing spreadsheet and manipulate it as well. But this is my hit or miss. I'm trying this out, see if this works. Let me know what you think. See you.